everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Curson Carpentry Toolbox. Got lots of updates for you this week, so bear with and we'll give you as much updates as possible. Thanks for tuning in. So first of all, I'm back. I've had a couple of weeks off paternity, welcomed my first child into the world, and I'm really pleased that we have a little boy. So the old alarm clock did come quite hard at 6 in the morning, especially after a long sleepless night. So do excuse my bags, but we're not here to look pretty, we're here to do a great job, and I'm leading from the front, trying to get here as early as we can, pushing on. We're absolutely swamped with tenders and new opportunities, which is fantastic in this current climate and day and age. But let's update you with what we've got going on our current projects. So before we get into our new orders and works that we've received, we've completed a few jobs so far. So first of all, the roofs which you saw Theo on the tools, they've been completed over at the Amplis job, and we're scheduled to go back next week to do all the first fix carpentry, which is basically the stud work, the staircases, the window boards and the door linings. So we're scheduled to go in next week with that. We've started and we're halfway through the roof installation over at Mersey for Rose Builders. That's a really nice job. We've got a real big hand cut roof with dormers, lots of intricate angles and cuts, and we've got some videos coming out for that soon, where you see our carpenters and our apprentices explain what they're doing, which is really nice because it not only backs up what they're doing on the jobs, but also that the training for the apprentices is going in. So hopefully you'll see Nathan, who's one of our first years, show you how to work out some angles, how to mark them, how to measure them, and physically watch him cutting them and fixing. So I'm really looking forward to watching that. We've got some new orders come in. So we've had another order from Rose Builders, another order for Amplis, and a new order from Barnes Construction. So we're really looking forward to working with them. We've also had some healthcare project orders coming in as well. So we've got lots of door sets to go in at Basildon Hospital. We've also got some office units coming. So we've got full planning permission at our premises here to extend for a lovely big open plan office. But as a temporary measure to cope with our current expansion, we're going to be getting some site containers, some proper brand new modular units installed at the back of our yard. So they're coming in a week's time. I'd like to say a massive thank you to Paul over at Tudor Modular, who I was given a recommendation to for somebody who works here for me. I literally rang him up, told him what I wanted. A couple of hours later he came along because he's only 10 minutes down the road, had a look at the area, I told him what I wanted, and that day I placed an order with him, and we've already got the delivery date booked in. So a massive thanks to Paul over at Tudor Modular. If you need something like we're getting, give him a shout because I'm really, really pleased. So we've got a couple of new starters. We've got an office manager starting this week by the name of Monica. So I can't wait for the organisation to be back here where it was, and a bit of structure built back into the business. And we're also welcoming back Tom Wymark as pre-construction manager. He's been on a year's sabbatical. So Tom will just come into the business as he was before, hit the ground running, and bring lots of new exciting developments to this business and the team, because I'm drowning in my own work at the moment and I'm a bit swamped, and I don't want to end up letting my customers or my team down. So he's going to really help me out here by delivering what we want to as a business, and as well for the rest of the team, because there's only so much hours in the day which I can provide them. So hopefully he'll bring a lot of value to the company, and we can get where we want to get within the next 6 months, as well as our temporary expansion and watch this space. Hopefully when we start actually building the new office, there'll be some really interesting footage there. So yeah, a lot going on here. I've got places to go, things to do. My phone doesn't stop ringing, my emails keep flying in, but I'd much rather that than wondering where the next job's coming from. And in current times, be thankful that we're really busy. So keep an eye out, keep following us. We're trying to do regular videos every week. Keep following our socials. We've got all sorts happening out as with the orders that we've explained. So yeah, keep tuned and keep watching. We've just converted half of our workshop into a filming studio. So we've got some challenges coming up with those. And basically the idea of those is I'm going to set the time. So we're going to cut some skirting joints, probably hang a door and cut on a mini hip roof. I'm going to do all three of those to set the time, and the theory behind that is that all the lads that work for me have got to try and sort of beat the boss. So I'm a bit rusty, so it'll probably be a challenge to some, but a lot of them probably won't floor with me, but it'll still be great fun to start filming that anyway. Plus that also backs up as an apprentice training facility. One thing that I'd like to bring in here in the not too far away future is an apprentice training facility where we get a new starter apprentice, we can put them in our training centre and teach them the basics of carpentry for a first week in a controlled environment, teach them proper training on power tools and nail guns and how to use their hand tools, how to act and conduct themselves on site rather than doing it in a live environment. Also, we can adhere to a really good high standard. As a company that's currently undergoing ISO 9001 accreditation, we want to be we are doing everything to the best that we can with a set standard. It can't be that it's with somebody else and he teaches them that way. We're creating a uniform operation here, which is really good for our quality, because no matter who you get and what you do, it's to the standard that we set as a business. So that's something that involves a lot of work, but it's shown in our delivery of our projects. So although it's hard work, it's definitely worth it in the long run. So stay tuned and we'll keep you updated throughout. Thanks for watching.